Center for Courageous Kids is a medical camp for children battling chronic and life-threatening illnesses from across the country.
Here we serve children with various medical conditions, from physical disabilities to chronic or life-threatening illnesses.
Our primary mission is to give them a normalized camp experience while also focusing on intentional relationships with peers and other adults who can serve as great role models in the future.
So it's a time for kids to come and just be kids and to play, and for families to come and have fellowship as well with one another.
We are one of 8 camps across the United States that is built specifically to house children with medical needs. The entire camp was designed with that in mind, so every single lodge is handicapped accessible. We have a zero entry pool, meaning that you can ride a PVC wheelchair into the pool if you have that kind of challenge, or we have lifts and hoists to get children in and out of the pool. We have handicap accessible bowling with bumpers up, and we have little rails to guide the ball. So the entire place was designed to facilitate fun for kids that are medically challenged.
This camp is absolutely amazing. This is the first place we've been where people understand what we're going through and what my son deals with on a daily basis. The accommodations here are fabulous, the staff is fabulous, the counselors are amazing, and it's great.
My daughter McKenna has a lot of pain, and she isn't able to do a lot of what the other kids are doing. In fact, she was unable to go to school for the last half of the school year. And so this is just an opportunity that came about at exactly the right time to give McKenna a safe environment that she could be at, and yet not be so challenged that she felt again like she was not able to keep up. In a day, I've watched my daughter open back up and become that fun kid that's laughing and excited to get up.
The difference in the kids when they come to camp is remarkable. They go from feeling isolated and alone with their diagnosis to being just one of the gang. They finally feel like they're a normal kid, able to do normal things, and that's the greatest part of camp, because they're not alone. They have little friends that have the same problem, and they may never have met another child with a similar diagnosis that they have.
My son wanted to come to camp here because he's tired of being the odd man out, and he's tired of being discriminated against and not being able to be fully included in other activities that kids his age get to do. And he wanted to be in a place where he could be understood and accepted as who he is.
When you're here, you practically forget about your illnesses and stuff. You're just a person here. You're not an illness, you're not a number.
It's the joy that these kids have, that they can be a kid when they're here. You know, they play together, they swim together, they bowl together and ride horses together and do these things, and they find commonalities that go beyond their diagnosis, and that is the coolest thing to see.
The distraction of having so many fun things around is greater than any medicine, greater than any treatment out there.
It's awesome here. There's great food, fun games, awesome counselors, stuff to do all the time, rest time, whenever you need it. It's awesome here.
I've done archery and boating and fishing, which I've never done before. There's like arcade stuff and everything. It's really, really cool.
My favorite part is being with different people that are a lot like me, and then being able to horseback ride and play games. Yeah, I caught my first fish today. And we went out on the paddle boat in the lake for a while, and then we went canoeing, and then we raced some other people in the canoe, and we won. It was really fun.
There's nothing like being with a kid who's 16, who's never been able to get in a pool before, who gets in and splashes around and has this joy on his face like you've never seen before. When you're down at the fishing dock and you are fishing with little kids from the inner city that have never fished at a lake or put a worm on a hook, and they catch their first fish, it's so hard to describe. So as you can tell, I get emotional too. because this is my mission. This is a great place to be.
The camp is wonderful. It's just been such an amazing thing for my daughter. We're seeing a side of her that we haven't seen in several years. It's allowing her to really be herself and have fun, and I'm not worried about anything. There's medical staff here in case she has any problems. The other parents are fantastic and very supportive. The counselors are wonderful. I couldn't be happier with the experience.
To this point, the Center for Courageous Kids has served over 52 different types of diagnosis and conditions, and a lot of that happens through due diligence. We make sure that our facility is right, that our food service is sound, that we have the proper supervision with our staff, and that we're well trained in understanding what we're getting ourselves into. Then the other part is having a really good relationship with the parents. We want to make sure that if there's little things we need to know, the nighttime routine, when they get upset, how do we help them de-escalate? And then just how we want to make sure, what are their goals for their children? Is it to socialize more? Is it to get some exercise? Is it just to be a kid for 6 days and not think about what's going to happen once they get home? That's our role.
I'm glad that I get to be here this week during Family Week with Maranda. Miranda's got some separation issues, so she wouldn't have come without me this year, but this was a great opportunity for her to come with me.
I never got to do possibilities and stuff like this because of my illness, so I wouldn't be able to do most of the stuff I'm doing today.
It's great to be in an environment where everybody understands, where we're all accepted, and for a kid to just be able to keep going and have fun.
There's nothing that we could have done for my daughter this year better than being right here. I feel like this was the right next step to help my daughter understand that she's a kid. She's just a kid and she gets to be a kid here. And what kid doesn't want to feel like they went to camp and had a good time?
If I could say something to the organizers of this camp, the words can't do it. It's amazing. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you, everybody.
I would say thank you for giving me my daughter back. Thank you for letting me see this side of her that we didn't think was ever going to come back again. She's a fighter. She's a warrior. Every day she faces problems that people can't understand, and here she's with other kids who know exactly the same problems and are fighting the same fight. And this camp isn't about the fight. This camp is about being a kid. And the fight is secondary, and it's fantastic to be in that position again.
If you're thinking about coming, come. Don't think. Make your reservations and figure out how to get here. It's totally worth it.